So wholesaling or real estate wholesaling is about getting a property under contract for a certain price and selling it for a price just a little bit higher than what you paid for it. And that little bit higher is the difference between what you get it for and your profit. So for example, you may get a property under contract for 100,000 and you assign it to another buyer for 110 or 115,000. And that fee, the difference between those two, is your assignment fee. Now, the reason it's called wholesaling is because you're not actually selling it to a buyer, that is someone that's going to live in it. You're selling it to somebody else that's going to do something to the property to increase its value. So, for example, you buy a property from a motivated seller, or not, sorry, you don't buy a property, you acquire a property, or you put a property under contract from a motivated seller, and that seller is motivated for many reasons, and then you find a buyer who is doing a fix and flip, and you assign that property to the buyer. That buyer will then do the fix and flip and will enhance the property by whatever means they think they need to do, whether it's a simple fix and flip where they just put in new carpets or they do painting, or there's a major fix and flip which would require, or maybe it's a major fix where they're going to be moving walls or renovating bathrooms or renovating kitchens, right? And all that contributes to the overall cost, which potentially contributes to their profit. And then what that person will do, or that company will do, is once they've renovated the property, they will put it on the open market for sale. And I do recommend putting it on the open market, and by open market I mean MLS. And then the person that buys that property will be the ultimate owner, and that's the retail buyer. So the person in the middle, the fix and flipper, is the wholesale buyer. You're the wholesale seller, and you never really take possession of the property. Okay? So the challenge with wholesaling is that it's really a job. It's not really real estate investing, because you're out there looking for properties all the time. You're looking for buyers all the time. It's, there's a day-to-day activity. Real estate investing, by definition, or at least what most people think, is you invest in a property, you sell the property, or you rent out a property. In this case, you never really acquire property. You're just looking for deals that you're for other people. Okay, and there's a lot of people out there, so you're out there looking for similar deals like what you're looking for. So the challenge will be finding the deal, or finding the property that somebody else, a fix and flipper, will want. Why people are trying to sell, or why sellers are motivated sellers, is many reasons. They may have run into financial difficulty. They may have let the property get out of control, meaning they haven't been maintaining the property, so now it requires a lot of work, and nobody wants to list it because they don't think they can sell it. Or they inherited a property. It's a property that they got for in a will or something, right? So a family member died and left you the property, and you're not really a property manager, and so you don't really want to carry the property. Okay. The other thing that's unique about wholesaling is you never want to take control of the property, and I mentioned that. You never want to purchase the property. You want to take control of the property, and you can take control of the property by putting in an agreement of purchase and sale, that is, putting an offer on the property for a price that you are negotiating with the seller. And that's really the value that you're providing the ultimate buyer, the fix and flipper, is you're going to work with the seller to come up with a price that you think you need to come up with to be able to attract the buyers that you know would be interested in purchasing a property like this. So when you're talking to the seller, you've got to make them aware that you are not necessarily going to take control of the property. You're just looking for a property for investors. And you can call it a group of investors that you represent, because really you should be representing a group of investors, because as a wholesaler, you're not going to just have one person that you're looking for property for. You're going to have multiple investors, so that when you find a property, there'll be a bunch of people that you're going to be able to send this property out to, who would look at the property and eventually purchase the property under the terms and conditions that you've negotiated with the seller, right? So the seller will be aware of that. And then what you do is you put the property under contract using an agreement of purchase and sale. and you ultimately will assign that contract, and that's very clear. You're not selling the property, you're strictly selling the contract to the ultimate buyer, the fix and flipper, for a price, and that price is referred to as the assignment fee. Okay? Uh, that's pretty much what wholesaling is, and if you want to get into wholesaling, sure, as a real estate investment strategy, I consider it a job, not a real estate investment strategy. Okay? Thanks very much.